Today I'm here at Bibliotech to catch up with designer, author, and Real Housewife of New York City cast member Rebecca Minkoff. Let's go. Rebecca, I am so excited to be sitting here with you today in a bookstore that carries your book. So we'll start there with the re-release. How does it feel to have so many people have read your story, and what has the reaction been?
The reaction to the first hardcover publication was just meeting strangers saying, I quit my job because of you, or I started a business because of you, and that's what I want from this book. You know, the goal of it is like, you don't toss your hair back and be like, I'm fearless. It's like, I'm scared, but here I go.
Unlike other books, autobiographies that I've read, this one has actually usable tips and obviously from your real life experience. So what was the most important thing for you to put out there and to share?
I think for me, as someone that's a founder, a mom, designer, all the things, every time I get a book, which I love that people are saying, here's a workbook, fill it out, write down 20 steps. I don't have time.
Yeah.
And so for me, it was about distilling down 22 rules. Originally it was 21, but I added content to just things you can remember. In that moment of panic of like, should I do this? You go, what's the worst that can happen? Take the risk, weigh the options. If you can stomach the worst case scenario, then dive in.
This whole mission is something you believe in so wholeheartedly that you made a podcast about it, right?
I did. It's called Superwomen, and it's a form of therapy for me because I get to meet the most incredible women. Some you've never heard of, some you've heard of, you know, whether it's Jessica Alba or Katie Couric or Bosom St. John, down to the McBride sisters, which I can guarantee you've never heard of. But, you know,
No.
You'll Google it later. And telling these stories of what it took to overcome, what it takes in the face of following your dreams. And like, we see the glossy magazines, we see the perfect Instagram stories. And this is kind of like, what was the hard work? What were the lessons learned? And sharing that with everybody is a joy.
And juxtapose knowing that and knowing how much of a girl's girl you are on so many levels to then experiencing Real Housewives of New York.
Yes.
How was that for you?
I had a lot of people ask me if I had a lobotomy before signing on. I think I went in there optimistic, and I think I learned a lot of lessons. And so I have no regrets. And I always love learning, and I always love being smacked in the face with a lesson, and I got a lot of slaps.
When you think back to the early days, that first bag, and being, you started in this neighborhood, right?
I did. I would go down to Green Street to get my t-shirts.
So walking down the street now to walk in here today, what is that feeling like?
It's first of all, it's wild because I bought the shirts there. I lived on Thompson and Sullivan. I was avoiding my roommate because I couldn't pay rent, and I was living in her closet. It wasn't a room. And so to look back at the difference, you know, 20 years in the business, mom, author, it's wild. It's like what people dream of, and I'm excited that it's happened.